Hey, Fuzzy Gloves here. I'm wearing a hat, and I have a couple questions for you real quick. The first question is, how do you know when you're done with a mix? The next question is, how do you know like that's the best you can do? There's a couple other questions along these lines that people tend to ask me. They ask me like, how do I fix it? Like, what am I doing wrong? All these different things. And so we're going to address some of those right up front in the beginning of this series. Some of you may consider skipping, but these are like lessons and laws of the universe that if you don't know, you could be setting yourself up with expectations that are unreasonable, or you might get discouraged just because you don't understand some of these. So the first one's called the good rule. The next one's called the 3 rule. And I'm going to summarize them both first, then I'm going to give some demonstrations. So the good rule is you need to do all your stuff needs to be good in order for it to be good. That's the simplest version. There's more advanced versions, like if you have something that was excellent and something that was bad, that excellent can pan out that bad and you'll end up with something that's good. Maybe it was really bad, so it'll only come out okay. So you can have varying degrees, like it balances itself out. So that's the good rule. The other side of the good rule is if one thing is bad, it ruins the whole thing. So I know I just said this balancing thing, but that's the rule. Bad things are definitely in the favor with the good rule. If something's really bad, that's just going to come out bad. You need something really freaking good in order to fix a bad thing. The 3 rule is you can have 3 things, or there are 3 things available to you. If you can pick 2. In some cases, you can only pick 1. That is, you can do something. You can have it be really high quality. You can have it be done really quickly, or you can have it be done with very little expense. It can be very cheap to do. These things have a relationship about them, and they are interlaced with the good rule. The good rule drives these 3 things, especially with your clients. And now if you're doing your own music and stuff, whatever, these things also drive your expectations. So let's go to the good rule. Let's say that you've got this good cook. He's making your favorite pie. He has an okay pie recipe, and he gives it to you, and he did an okay job. It's decorated, it's been made to look okay. You eat it, you say it's your favorite pie, so that's a little bit above good. And so you say, hey, this was an above average pie. It wasn't like the best pie I've ever had, but it was above average. It wasn't, and it was good. But let's say now that you have a cockroach in that exact same pie. Well, you just went from good pie to a bad pie. One thing, and it was simply the recipe. He added a cockroach. Maybe he didn't know, and now it's not a good pie. No one's going to want your pie. Maybe he's an excellent cook. His pie is so good, and he picked such a strong recipe. It's like so good, you're actually willing to just cut out that part with the cockroach and eat the rest of the pie. There are cases where that is true, where you're going to want to do something like they're that good. This comes up in business all the time. And it's the reason why some people get paid such an outrageous amount of money to fix such a crappy situation. So let's move over to recording. Okay. So you're playing the piano, whatever. You're going to record this performance of you. It's going to be a classical piano performance, and you're going to record it and produce it. Well, your performing abilities are really quite bad. They're not good. But you have excellent production capabilities, and you have superb recording capabilities. So you're going to have a superbly produced, terrible performance. And that is something people probably aren't going to be willing to pay for. The other, though, if you get an excellent performer, then, that's an example of like that one thing that was bad ruined the rest of it. But let's say that you get an okay performance or a good performance. We'll even say it's good. And the other things are good. They might not be superb or excellent. Well, you're going to get a good thing out. Now, let's say that you have a legendary performer, someone just legendary playing the piano. Like they don't know how to do anything except amazing. And so they're playing. Your recording capabilities, though, are rather bad. So it's a bad recording. Well, in that case, but your production's okay. In that case, your bad recording could be worth something simply because the performer was so freaking amazing that they were managed to take something that you did bad and fix it. But it takes a lot to be able to fix a bad thing. So now let's move over to the way these things pop up. They usually pop up in the form of, oh, we'll fix it in the mix. Ooh, that gets me. Don't ever say we'll fix it in the mix, okay? That's code for I'm lazy half the time. Well, not even half the time. 90% of the time, at least, if not more. And it's usually they just don't want to go out of the control room, move a mic a little bit to fix like a phasing issue or something. They're like, oh, no, we'll use a plugin to fix that. They get that. And you'll get that from your clients too. Can you fix it? And this is where the 3 rule begins to come in handy. But let me give you another example. There's the vocalists. Oh my gosh, vocalists. Vocalists, especially when you're recording their stuff. So it's not your stuff. You're recording theirs. You're going to mix their stuff. They say, can you fix that in the mix? Like, I don't have to re-sing that vocal part. Like, they're basically saying, can I fix it in the mix? And you just say freaking no, unless you're going to pay me a lot of money. You're either going to pay me a lot of freaking money, or we're going to sing it right now. We're going to obey the good rule. Because what they're basically saying is, can you take some of the terribleness out of my ability to sing away by being such an awesome producer? Can you do that? And it makes your job as a mixer much harder, but if you are worth your salt, like you could charge out the wazoo. So this brings us to the 3 rule, right? We're like, well, you're asking for a higher quality. And they say, but I need it tomorrow. Well, the 3 rule comes into play. Oh, you need it tomorrow? So you just picked time, which means it's going to be really freaking expensive, and you want a high quality job, it's going to be really expensive. But then they say, no, I want it done cheaply. Then you say, no, screw you. You do it right this time. Sing it right now. And that's just the way it goes. You obey the 3 rule. They can't argue with the 3 rule. If they're going to argue with them, don't do business with them. They're not worth your time. Like, it's a bad deal. They always should obey the 3 rule. That's what you just give people. And when you are setting expectations for yourself, you say, some people come to me and they're like, everything I write is crap, or this is that. I get these messages a lot, like from a lot of people. And I always end up just bringing up the 3 rule. I'm like, are you obeying the 3 rule? I don't say this to them like that. And it really comes down to whether or not you believe you can do it. But there's a certain requisite amount of time, and there's also amount of effort you need to put into it. You have to have quality. And so learning a skill, you apply the 3 rule a little bit differently to yourself. So you say, I want to do it quickly. Well, then you're going to need to spend a lot of time doing it, which is a little counterintuitive. Like, when I say quickly, I mean that then you're going to spend the whole day for the next, you're going to spend doing this and only this for like the next, month. And that's all you're going to freaking do. It's all you're going to think about. You're going to do a high quality job. You're going to get good resources. You're going to get good books. You're going to invest good practice time. And doing all these things will give you the result you want quickly. But if you don't have that kind of time, then you've got to be willing to say, oh, okay, it's going to take me a little bit longer, but I still want it to be quality, because you don't want to be making crap productions. You don't want to be getting crap resources. So you're going to be investing, in some high quality education. You're going to find a good YouTube channel, possibly my YouTube channel, like the one you're on. Like, you're going to be making decisions, and I don't want you to use just me. You should be outsourcing, looking for good books. I highly recommend books. And those take time to read. It's just really, really hard to get something fast. Without like learning a skill quickly, ironically, takes a lot of time. It's a little weird when you apply it to life. But that's the 3 rule, and that's the good rule. These rules should be used to set your expectations, especially when dealing with clients. And also with your mixes. So like, if you only have so much time to do a mix and your mix doesn't come out like your awesome legendary vision was, well, just remember, look at these rules. That's what determined your outcome. And the 3 rule, the more you can increase your quality as a producer, the more you invest in yourself, the more you can leverage the 3 rule in other aspects of your life, such as with clients. So the better I get at mixing, the more I can charge, and the quicker I can do it. And you don't have to tell them you can do it quickly, because if you can do it quickly and you don't tell them, you can charge them a lot and do it fast, and it's really easy on you, and you deserve it because you've invested that amount of time and the 3 rule in you. So anyways, that's some stuff about that. When you do your projects, when you do your mixes, if I hear you saying, oh, my mixes sound like garbage, or my composition, my arrangements sound like garbage, or whatever it is, and you've been telling me that you've been producing for like a month and you spend maybe an hour a day doing this and you don't read books, then frickin' you deserve garbage recordings and productions. Like, that's, the universe is just dealing you what's yours. So there are always exceptions, people who have like exceptional gifts, but they usually end up making trades you wouldn't be aware of. You're not in their life. You're not in their shoes. You're in your life. You're in your shoes. Obey these rules. You will be blessed for it. And you will also, your life will just be so much easier. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I know it's a little off topic from mixing, but it is just prepping you for what's coming. And it's definitely a part of the mixing environment if you plan to do this as a career. Subscribe, support me on Patreon, and have a blessed day.
Look it up. Just feel the beat.